Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Carte. Thank you so much for joining me. So I have a different kind of project. Seems to be the norm, right? I've had this topiary for a good long while. And I always intended to give it a good cleaning and redress it and make it pretty again. Moving it from here to there, I've managed to crack this. I think I can still fix that. But what I'm going to do is now is the time to restore this beautiful little thing. It's going to be beautiful when we're done anyways, to go out on my new front porch out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything off. I'm going to see if my husband and Tomasi need to go get me some grapevines so I can bulk this up just a little bit. And then we'll see. I like the grape themes. I've got some more grapes. I've got some lemons and some apples and some limes. So I might do something where I can change it out for seasons. But I know I definitely want to have some lights on here, so I need to go pull out my lights. But get everything clean and then do this repair, let it dry, and then see if I'm going to paint this. I have a feeling this is going to become a different color, right? Like probably gray. But let's start by removing the things we know we want to take off and see where that leaves us. Alright, that takes it down to the nitty gritty. I think I'm going to leave that on there. Probably will get some more grapevines just to go around and give it a little bit bigger base to work on. So maybe we do want to take this off. Let's see. I think it's just literally spiraled on there. I could always add this back on. Alright, so the next thing I need to do is request some grapevines from my husband and Tomasi. Means they get to take a golf cart ride. And they both like doing that, so there you go. Alright. How about that? Alright, I'm going to work on getting my table cleaned up because I've made a pure blame mess. And then we'll wrap that around. I see there's another right here. There's another small flaw that I need to fix. So I'll work on that sort of thing. See what we're going to do to that. All right, there you go. There is the beginning of it. I have a great picture in my head. Let's see if I can make it happen. All right, my husband and Tomasi went and got some vines. So I am redoing this topiary, and I'll secure everything with some baling wire. But basically I'm just sticking the loose end in somewhere and just winding it. And we're almost to the bulk stage where I'm going to have to put the wire on just to finish it. As you can see, it doesn't want to stay, but basically I just want to wind it in and keep winding it around and around until I get it to the fullness that we want. It's not hard, it just takes a little bit of patience. All right, we've got our vines put on our base. I think it turned out pretty good. I want to clean this on the bottom because I'm going to paint it. I'm going to make it match out there on the porch, which means put a light blue on it and then maybe antique it. I'm not sure. We'll have to, haven't got quite that far yet. But let's go ahead and get this clean, and then while it is, I'm going to go ahead and string lights onto the whole thing. And I've got an idea. I'm going to be using some lights that have a white globe on it, and I'll either keep the white globe or I will find a way to color them. So we have our topiary covered in lights, and I used wire ties every so often to attach everything. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the base, let it dry, and then I'm going to start putting the grape leaves on, and then finally the grapes. I don't think I'm going to paint these. I think I'm going to or stain them, or I was going to try Old English or something. I'm not going to do any of that. I think I'm going to leave them just the way they are. Because I think they'll look nice behind the leaves and all of that. So let's go ahead and we get everything set up so that we can paint our base. Ooh, progress. right, we've got our base, the first coat on there. It'll need a second coat from like this angle, laying down angle. I can see where I missed some spots and then it soaked through some spots, but that's okay. I've got our lights with a wire tied on, and I've got both of the battery packs with what we'll call the back. Now what we want to do is I have a large how to wrangle it off the table. A large vine here that I'm going to wrap around, and then I have that cording that looks like a main stalk of a vine. So there's that. And we could even take this down and around now. Okay. All right. And it just adds just a tiniest little bit of interest, which is the point of all of it, right? All right, so then I have all of these little viney things. All right, we've got our larger piece vines attached. So now I've got my hot glue warming up. I'm going to start with larger leaves and then work my way to smaller leaves, just like I always do. And I'm going to try to spread them out evenly, but I am going to concentrate on this front section first. Okay. Here we go. All right. Turn my lights on again. We've got our greenery on here. So now it's time to add grapes. And I'm going to use some of my wire ties to add them. And I've got a bigger size than what we used for the others. And so what I'm thinking is maybe like a dark one here. I've got a light one that's pretty small that can go up here. We'll just have to figure out how we want it to, like where we want it to sit actually. I might put one here and one over here. And then I've got, I could put that in the back, and then we've got 4 this size and this color. All right, so let's start putting now we want to add our little accent. So I just took one little stem of white, cut it apart, and I'm just putting little pops of color. So I've done the front, this side. I'm going to gently roll it over to this side, and then what I have left, I'll put it in the back. Again, the back will not be seen where I'm going to set this, so I think we're good with just minimal on the back. going to lay it back down and I'm going to put my second coat on my base. Alright. And I'll end up taking this outside so that I can get a good picture for you. Yeah, it's looking good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our next coat on our base. And I want to protect my leaves and things. So I'm going to create a drop cloth and then a barrier around our leaves. I only need a little piece on the table. I need a good hunk to protect the silk flowers. So that's for our table. And then I'm just going to create a collar around all my leaves. Theoretically, it's on the underside. It wouldn't matter, but let's just take what precautions we can. Alright, actually, I'm going to have to cut another. Well, no, you know what? We can just do this. Alright, I am going to get this painted. I should have turned my lights off though. There we go. Alright, we'll get this painted and then let it dry. And while it's drying, I'll go ahead and open up. My lantern came in the mail today. So I'll get it opened up and see what we have there. And see what our next step will be for this new little area. How about that? Progress. Looks really good. Turn the lights out and you can just, these little globes have just a little bit of light, which is perfect for the ambiance. Okay. All right, I'm going to paint, let it dry, and I'll get you some pictures along the way, probably at the very, very end. How about that? Just took stuff I had on hand and refurbished it. Love it. Well, that is how our topiary turned out. That's where it will live. I think it turned out really, really nice. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!